Hey, so it happened again. You got halfway through your performance and your voice was completely shot. Probably felt like two pieces of sandpaper rubbing themselves against each other. And you're probably thinking, oh man, like this happens time and time again. I guess maybe just because I'm getting older, this is just a natural part of singing and I just got to deal with this. The truth is it is not your voice that's the problem. It's simply just how you're using it. Hey, my name's Isaiah. I'm a vocal coach, and believe it or not, I actually work mostly with older singers that are in their 50s and above. And I know exactly what it is like to deal and work with students that are struggling with the specific struggles that only older singers have. I'm not one of your typical coaches out here that normally is working with kids. So in this video, I'm going to show you a quick little technique that is going to virtually guarantee that you never lose your voice again during a performance, no matter what note you're trying to hit and no matter how old you are, so that you can finally actually make impactful music that you know you were called to make. Okay, let's get down to business here. So, why does your voice keep running out after your gigs in the first place? So there's really two core reasons why this is happening to you. So the first is simply this, and it is pacing. So you really need to think of your voice kind of like a gas tank, to where there's certain things that we're doing throughout a performance that are going to spend more and more and more and more of our gas. Now, this does not simply mean, oh, my voice can only sing for 30 minutes, an hour, 2, 3 hours. Like, your voice can actually sing an unlimited amount of time. As long as you are treating it right, you just need to make sure that you are making the necessary pit stops on your road trip of this performance. Because if I've got some 400-mile road trip and I fill up my tank with gas and then I'm 80 miles in, but I never stop to get any gas, like, that road trip is probably not going to get me all the way to my end destination. And that's why you make those incremental stops to refill up your tank. So when it comes to singing, when you are refilling up your tank, is paying attention and being aware at the first signs of, oh, my voice is feeling a little hoarse now. I'm feeling a little teeny tiny bit of tiredness inside of my voice, and doing the necessary things to get yourself back on pace and filling up that tank to make sure that the rest of the performance isn't being shot. So the second reason why your voice keeps running out on you at the end of your gigs is you are simply not hitting the notes during the performance from a place of connection. And what I mean by this is, I'm sure you've probably had past coaches or past content that you've been looking at when it comes to singing that talks about the chest voice, the mixed voice, and the head voice. And these are all the 3 different registers that your voice is in when it sings. But the problem with a lot of that content that's out there is it doesn't really ever teach the singer how to truly mix the mix, how to truly mix the head voice, how to truly mix the chest voice to where every note that you're hitting is from a place of being unified and everybody being on the same page. Because one way to think about it is, your voice essentially has those 3 types of voices: your chest voice, your mix, and your head voice. And think of each of those as 3 individuals that, when they are untrained and unworked on, they are just in a constant boxing match with each other. You'll try to hit one note and be like, oh, say, can you see? No, sing low note, no, sing the high note, low note, high note, low note, high note. And just this constant bickering and fighting that is happening again and again between all 3 of those different registers. And what you need to do is specific exercises, which we're going to be showing you here in just a sec, that get all of those parts of your voice on the same page to where they go from having a boxing match to where they're shaking hands and becoming friends. And a big reason why your voice hasn't overcome this boxing match and it still keeps breaking and cracking and straining and giving out mid-performance is, to be brutally honest, you've been wasting your time doing a lot of what most people teach is like the scales, such as the do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Those things will not do a single thing whatsoever to build proper connection inside of your voice. The number one most effective way to build this connection is by doing what is known as power humming. So, and power humming is simply, all we're going to do here is we're going to find an octave range here and about, what you feel is the center of your range. Doesn't really have to be exact or precise, but just wherever you feel, the center of your range would be. And we're going to do a nice, simple octave slide hum throughout the center of this range. And we're going to do it up and down, back and forth until we are completely out of breath. So follow me along. 1, 2, 3. Okay, few things that I want to point out here. So you'll notice I did that nice, simple little hum through the center point of my range, up and down, back and forth until I was out of breath. And what you'll notice is I did it very smoothly. There weren't any skips or cracks or breaks in my voice. I wasn't going, or you want to make this slide with this hum very, very smooth. Now, I want to be clear. You absolutely will not make this smooth during the first day of you doing this. It's going to take a few repetitions to really crank out that smoothness. But you still are actually going to see results in your voice, even if it's not smooth. But you want to mentally be going for the result of I want to make this as smooth and as simple as possible. And I know what some of you are thinking right now is, I've done humming before. This is regular, simple, basic stuff. Well, let me tell you this. What separates a top-notch celebrity singer from just your average basic singer? Not much. And it's truly, there's just small little incremental things that you are not doing on stuff that you already know to do that is going to make the massive difference in your singing. Because think of it this way, kind of like the Olympics. So in the Olympics, you have the 100-meter dash. And you have the person that trains for years and years for the Olympics. And you've got your first place, second place, and your third place winner. I believe during the last 2024 Olympics, the person that came in first place for the 100-meter dash had a time of, it was like 10.74 seconds. And the person that came in second place, their time was like 10.8 seconds. And the difference in terms of the results of that first place winner versus the second place winner is the first place winner, they won the gold, they got the media attention, they got the sponsorships. And I've even heard in the Olympics, there's some countries that if you win the gold medal, they will legitimately give you a lifetime pension. Like your whole entire salary for the rest of your life till the day you die, paid for completely. And you know what the person in second place gets? Jack freaking squat. But is the person that got in first place, are they 10 times faster than the second place runner? No. Are they 5 times faster? No. They're not even twice as fast. They're not even 20% more fast. They're not even 10% more fast. It's literally a small 1, 2, 3, 5% edge in performance. And do not let the simplicity of this exercise fool you. It is the simple little edges, simple little tweaks in what you're doing that's going to make the dramatic, amazing differences inside of your voice. In fact, one of my students, Corey, we showed her this exercise. She struggled like crazy with her performances, always losing her voice, never ever running out. In fact, like she would have one of the most insane schedules I'd ever seen. Like this woman would do an average of 2 to 3 concerts she would be performing at every single day. And this is what she had to say just from doing this simple little power humming exercise.
But there's days that I can sing the whole time and not have any issues, and I have never had that before. We can't go through 3 hours of concerts. And for me, normally in the past, before we started this, I couldn't sing for 3 hours and not have it hit my throat. And now I can.
Wow, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
like you just couldn't make it through any of your concerts before?
Not a whole day. Like by the third concert in the day, which was the 3rd hour, right? I would be struggling and oh my gosh, my vocals hurt. I need a throat drop. I need sprays. And I don't even unpack my sprays half the time anymore because I don't need them because it's not in my throat. That in itself has been amazing. I can tell you that last week when we did this in the morning before I had concerts, I felt so much stronger. At least in the first concert it was like clean, and the next day we did our other warm-ups that we usually do, and I was not as strong. And Greg even said something. He says, I can tell a difference. I said, yeah. I said,
oh, so legitimately you like copy and pasted our method versus the old thing you were doing, and when you did it our way, concerts were flawless versus like the older methods.
Yeah, I mean, it's just after I had worked with you that one morning that day was so much better than previous or the days after, because there was just a dramatic difference, like just in how I felt in addition to how I sounded. I just sounded better and stronger. So there's a clear difference.
Man, that's awesome. That's good to hear. All right, so let's do another round here just so that you guys can get another chance to practice this. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, a few other things I want to point out that really make the difference with that exercise. So you'll notice, as I was also doing the hum nice and smooth, I also too had a nice wide open smile with it. That's not simply just because I'm in a good mood, but that's the not much, once again, that separates the good singers from the average singers. Because what that smile is doing is it's helping to further enhance that connection to stop the boxing match from the chest voice, the mixed voice, and the head voice. Hey, if you've been enjoying this video here, real quick, if you want to go even deeper on this concept of power humming, also as well as learn as the 3 biggest mistakes that are also getting in the way of making you lose your voice all the time during performances, just click the link below to check out my free training on the 3 biggest singing mistakes that are holding back the gigs you perform, the albums you attempt to record, and the songs that you write. It is gonna give you a wealth of more knowledge to really make sure that you're implementing this correctly so that you can be the singer that you know you were called to be. All right, so the next exercise that I want to do that is going to help you to virtually guarantee that your voice is never shot at a performance is by doing what is known as pacing humming. Because earlier we talked about how you want to pace yourself out during the performance. So what we are going to be doing here is all we're going to do is we are going to just do a single note hum at the softest pitch you possibly can. And the important thing with this exercise is I'm talking so soft you can barely hear it yourself. It is pretty much impossible for you to hum too softly with this exercise. It's going to look a little something like this. 1, 2, 3. And I'm intentionally actually humming louder than you should for the exercise. If I hum too soft, the microphone's not going to be able to pick it up. But you really want to go ridiculously soft. And what you're now going to do is we're going to make sure that we are holding the softness of that for as long as we possibly can. Ideally 10 seconds or so, preferably 20 seconds, but really just holding that note as long as you possibly can and as soft as you possibly can. So let's give it another try here again. And just keep holding it and holding it and holding it. And then, you know, run out of breath, take some more air, do it again. And what you're essentially going to be doing is do this, number one, at random intervals just throughout the day to make sure that you're just constantly getting more gas inside of that tank. And most importantly, when you're on stage mid-performance, what a lot of people will often do is if, let's say you're feeling, oh man, my voice is feeling a little bit tired and there's a quick little 30-second instrumental break in the song, pull that mic away from you and just be going, super, super soft. And then you sing the next part of your song and basically pacing yourself throughout the performance. As soon as you notice those itty bitty, the tiniest sign of, oh, I'm getting a little more tired, my voice isn't, you know, holding up as well as it should, we're once again filling up that gas, filling up our gas tank to make sure that we can sustain the whole performance. Because I don't want you to think of singing in your voice as, oh, I can only sing for X amount of period of time. It's, I can only sing for X amount of period of time without proper refilling of my gas tank in my performance before my voice gets shot. As long as you are maintaining that consistency to refill up, you will always, always be giving your best performance after performance, gig after gig. Okay, so that wraps up things here in today's video. Once again, if you want to go even deeper on these concepts and also to learn about the 3 biggest killer mistakes that most singers are making, just click the link below in the video to check out that free bonus training. Also, as well, to check out this other video that I've put together for you here that YouTube is recommending.